All right, beautiful people. We are live, at least on my end. Hopefully, we are good to go. So as you guys filter in, of course, you know the routine. When you get in for the live stream, make sure you give me a 5x5 on audio, on video. Make sure you can see the story we're going to cover, because this is some breaking news. We are about to watch some coping and seething, of which we told you was going to happen because the Democrats played a very dangerous game, and we're about to walk through the entire thing. So as you guys filter in here, I can't wait to get into this with you. It's going to be so much fun. So, like I said, hope you guys are doing great. Throw some comments right down there in the comments field. Make sure that we are good to go. Got some New Jersey. Make sure you drop where you are. Be something good. KP, this is going to be something good. LFG, Shane, LFG, baby. Let's go. All right, so you guys are filtering in. I love it. I love seeing the regulars. Make sure the audio and the video is good. Awesome. Thank you for that support, guys. So, beautiful people. While we wait on more of these people to filter in here, get some greatness, guys, what we're about to talk about is a complete synopsis of the gun control ecosystem that just occurred in Virginia. Now, I'm going to walk you through some things that we said prior. I'm going to walk you through the backstory. Then I'm going to tell you what happened, and then I'm going to show you how today all the hopes and dreams were dashed, which should never have been hopes and dreams. But again, this is the gun control playbook. So we're going to walk through it right here in 1 second as you guys filter in. Let me make sure everything is good. Good stuff. Audio is kicking. That's awesome. Good stuff. I usually don't do lives on midday stuff, but you know what? Felt like I wanted to today. It was a good vibe. All right, so we got about 500 people in here. That is awesome. Cool. Sweet, sweet, sweet. We are going to get into this in 1 second. So, as you guys are filtering in here, we're going to touch on the Virginia thing because this is gun control in a nutshell. No kidding. This is the manipulation that the gun controllers did to their constituents in order to get donations, in order to get political power. And then when they got destroyed, like they knew they were going to get destroyed the entire time, they use it as a political cudgel to get more power. It is truly disgusting. But before we get into this, I want to tell you about a new sponsor that I have, and all I got to do is tell you about it. It's called Ammo Squared. This place is interesting. So imagine a 401k for your ammo needs. Okay, very high level, and you can check them out on your own. They're Instagram, they got a website, of course, you can Google. But you're talking about distributing money into an account, which then you can cash out for the ammo at any point in time while you've been banking it the whole time at your desired income level or your desired revenue levels, shipping levels, timing. It's really fascinating. So check it out if you have a second. But we're going to get into this because I am so here for it. Let me adjust some stuff from my perspective so we can bring this article together, and then we are going to dive in because this right here, beautiful people. Oh man, this is the stuff. This is that stuff where you just go, you know, we told you. We did tell them. But did they listen? They did not. So I'm going to minimize myself because I am not what's important here. And we are going to jump right over to this window capture. We're going to have some fun. All right. So now, let's get this. Check this out, people. Make sure this is going. You guys can see this okay, right? So before I dive into this, in the chat, let me know if you can see that window from the AP. This is all about Youngkin, okay? And then we're going to have so much fun. This is going to be one of those that we're going to really dive through because we're going to react in live time together. So again, in the comments right down there, let me know. Good to go. Sweet. You guys can see it. Good stuff. All right. So here's what we're going to talk about. Youngkin acts on gun bills, vetoing dozens as expected and amending 6 and signing 2 pairs. Okay, so I'm going to break down all of this to you, but here's the thing that you have to understand. When the Democratic legislature flipped over in Virginia by one person in the Senate and the House, so the House of Delegates and the upper chamber as well, the gun control advocates came out and they were all the rage and saying, we're going to pass every gun control bill you can possibly imagine. We're going to make him veto them, but he wouldn't dare. And then he did. Now, the interesting part about this is when we were going through this, there was a lot of fear about all of these things being successful when there was no indication that he was going to sign gun control legislation like this. He just confirmed it. All right, let me walk you through a few of these things because this is really comical. So this came from Richmond, Virginia. Republican Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin announced Tuesday he had vetoed 30 pieces of gun-related legislation, including measures that would have halted the sale of certain semi-automatic firearms. Now, this had all sorts of things in it. Mag bans, mandatory storage, AR bans, everything that you can imagine. But this is the point that I want to highlight. and this is something that you guys can, I think, has value you can bring to other gun control inclined people around common sense safety. This entire thing was manipulation. Okay? So the gun controllers put forward all of this legislation knowing full well that Youngkin was more than likely not going to sign any of it and veto most of it. They told their constituents that they had a big chance to really make a difference for gun control, all the while knowing that it was highly likely to be vetoed. Then, when he vetoes it, they cope and seethe around the fact that he vetoed it, and they use that upset anger and emotion to then campaign further for their own power. This is the thing. Like, you have to understand, when they're doing this, it's all together for their own power. Like, look at Missouri. Missouri state Democrats openly said, we're going to cause chaos until we get elected more. I mean, this is a game to these people. But anyway, let's continue. Youngkin's vetoes, which drew criticism from Democrats, were not surprising. Really, did someone tell the Democrats it wasn't surprising? But anyway, but the governor had been vague enough on the issue that he had left even gun rights groups with a degree of uncertainty about how he would act on the dozens of bills that Democratic-controlled General Assembly sent during this year's session. Youngkin also announced Tuesday he was proposing amendments to 6 bills and signing 2 pairs of identical bills that passed. Now, these are the ones that he actually signed. Now, keep in mind what he signed here. One of those pairs would ban auto sears, that's Glock switches, illegal on the NFA and a federal level, and they, which obviously handguns into automatics. And the others intended to keep guns out of the hands of juveniles who are already not supposed to have those guns. I mean, like, he signed the things that are so common sense that everyone knows about already, that are already federal law, and then vetoed the rest of them, which is highly comical, if you ask me. But in the news statement, this is the stuff that I think is so powerful, and I'll get to the comments here in a second. Youngkin said the bills he signed would help protect public safety, and the ones he amended have the potential to make it harder for criminals to use guns. The ones he vetoed would trample on citizens' constitutional rights. Listen to the quote, and you tell me why Democrats are surprised. Okay? Quote, I swore an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of Virginia, and that absolutely includes protecting the right of law-abiding Virginians to keep and bear arms, Youngkin said. I'm waiting for the point where Democrats were telling you it was going to happen. Because he had said, even in the State of the State address, I'm not going to sign gun control bills. So there's a disparity there. Anyway, let me get over to the chat real quick and see if we're all good. Ponus Powell says Virginia still has universal gun registration. Yeah, I'm not saying that other laws are good. What I'm saying is this is something that is really important to understand, that the Democrats proposed against their own constituency, misled them, and now is utilizing that misled effort into more power for themselves. This is about gun control being utilized as a political cudgel. That's the point. He openly said he wasn't going to do it the entire time. Now, this is where we get into some of the things that they actually did. Among the measures Youngkin vetoed was a bill sponsored by Senator Suhas Subramaniam, of Loudoun County, that would have implemented a 5-day waiting period for gun purchases. So no gun purchase waiting period. So that's a mandated waiting period that just got shelved. That's not happening. Another vetoed bill would have prohibited the importation, sale, manufacture, purchase, or transfer of an assault firearm made after July 1. Possession of such a weapon would be banned for those under 21, and the measure would also prohibit the sale of certain ammunition feeding devices that can hold over 10 rounds. AR bans off the table. Safe storage bans safe storage laws off the table. Mag bans off the table. I'm still waiting for the point where the Democrats were promising action. Like, they never lied. Like, even the comments right here, no lies told. Right. It was never even said that they were going to even flirt with the idea. But let's continue, because here comes the campaigning. This is really crucial to understand. Quote, shameful and unthinking action, tweeted Senator Cray Deeds, a Democrat from Charlottesville, who noted Youngkin also vetoed a bill of his that would restrict guns at institutions of higher education. So bills to stop guns to defend yourself at college. I mean, like, understand, guys, when we're going into this, you have to understand deeper on what they're trying to accomplish on the Democrat gun control side. They threw every single thing possible at the wall, promising their constituency that they would have results and actions. And then when it hit the wall and slid down into a puddle of depression, now they're upset that it hit the wall and slid down, and now you got to vote for more because it hit the wall and the governor's meanie. This would be like, I mean, like, if you're talking about a scenario in your own lives, imagine if you were looking at your wife or your husband, your spouse, and you said, I'm going to buy an F-150. And they go, no, you're not. And then you start planning and saving for your F-150, squirreling away some money. And then when it comes time to buy said F-150, the spouse goes, we talked about this, you're not doing it, and you didn't get it, and now you're upset. I mean, it literally just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, let's continue. One of the pieces of legislation Youngkin signed would allow for parents to be charged with a felony under the state's child abuse and neglect law if they allow a child to have access to a firearm after being notified the child poses a threat of violence. Now, this one's got a little bit of a gray area. Sorry, I totally squirrel with the F-150. This one's a little bit of a gray area because if the parents are directly allowing exposure, that's kind of a subjective nature. Like, what are the rules of that? So that one has a little bit of a gray area to it. But overall, the reason that I'm doing this angle of the video is understand the fight that we are in. I'm going back to the top here. The fight that we are in for our gun rights is one that is heavily based on manipulation, deception, fears, anxieties, and control. A lot of it is empty promises by Democrats, but we'll get it done next time if you just vote for us some more, even though we knew it wasn't going to happen this time. It's a big game. It's a shell game. But that's the point. Virginia just started the coping and seething on a Wednesday afternoon, and I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a little bit of a shorter live, but I wanted to bring it to you guys. I hope you enjoy. I'm going to look at the comments real quick. Why can't I get my F-150 now? That's awesome. Oh, man. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Looks like you guys are enjoying the live. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment down there. The article itself will be below, and I hope you guys have one of the best days on the planet, and I will see you on tonight's video.